We're going to talk about layer effects now. And layer effects apply to individual layers, provided that they are not the background layer. So here I have the background layer, which means that I cannot activate any effect. If, on the other hand, I create a text layer, for example, type layer effects. Okay, you have to click on the reset button so that this disappears. Alright, it's gone. Good. So I type layer effects with an S at the end, and Control T to scale this up. I told you that when you scale text up last time, that it's a vector object and therefore it does not lose quality. This is very important. Alright, so first of all, we have something that we call styles that are ready-made effects. So you can either create your own, as we're going to do, or you can use the library of ready-made styles or effects available with Photoshop. This is available under the Styles tab down here. So I'm going to bring it to the front so that it's easier to see. Now here I have some styles. If I click on this arrow, I get different libraries. So since we have text now, I'm going to click on text effects. We have other things that we can use. We're going to explore a few of them. Here. So I'm going to choose text effects now. هاي ليه بتضلك مع عليها انت هي التولبار هلا I can't move it now. I'll move it in a second. Alright, so I can either press OK, cancel, or append. OK will replace the text effects, will replace these actually with the text effects that I just chose. If I choose cancel, nothing will happen. If I choose append, it will add the text effects to what I have here. So just to clear everything out and just leave the text effects, I'm going to press OK. So now I just have the text effects here. I lost what I had before, but I can retrieve it, of course. So all I have to do now is select the layer. It is selected, and click on one of the styles, and right away you're gonna get your different text effects. So here I'm just highlighting them so that you see what they will do. Now here sometimes the text is disappearing because it's above a white layer. So let's put something in the background so that we have something to look at. Okay, let's get this. Let's copy this part and bring it over. And I'm going to put it below the text. Alright, so now I'll reselect the text layer. I want to see this above the sky, really. Okay, I moved the toolbar for you. This is not the toolbar, this is called the tools box. Alright, so there, you see when I had white and I have a white text with a granulated effect, I couldn't see anything. That's why I got the image to see underneath. Alright, now let's say that I like this effect, but it's too thick. How can I thin it out? If I selected this style and I look at my text layer, I would see that I have two effects added, the bevel and emboss and the stroke. If I turn them off one by one, I will see what each is doing. So what I need to do in this case is reduce the size of both bevel and emboss and stroke. First of all, let's hide the stroke, or let's double click on bevel and emboss to see what it's doing. We talked a bit about bevel and emboss. Here I have a size value that I can change. You see, this effect is creating the chrome effect that I'm getting. The stroke is that thick line around it. The size is 19 pixels, which is too thick. So if I reduce the stroke, I would get something like this. Right? If I go back to bevel and emboss, I can play with the different parameters to get a different effect. Okay, I'm gonna talk about what everything is doing in a second, but this is to tell you how you can change an existing effect. Alright, I'll continue. Okay, so you see what this effect is doing. It's taking the layer underneath and creating this emboss type of effect, which is like the text is bumping out from the image. So these are the text effects that I have. If I wanted to reduce the white here, what would I do? I have a stroke value, and I can change the size as I did before, and this will change the whole thing. Alright, so these are the text effects. If I go to text effects 2 and press OK, if I press OK, it will remove all these and just add the new ones. If I press append, it will add the new ones to what I already have. I'm gonna press OK just to see what I have here. And again, I can click to see what I have, and I told you how to edit whichever one you are working with. So now that we have these, we're gonna see how we can create our own. Now, even though it says text effects, but you can use whichever type of effect with the text. So for example, if I click here again and choose a glass buttons and press OK, I can use these also with the text. So it doesn't really have to be just text effects with text, although it's not doing anything really useful. This would work best in case you are creating buttons for a website. So if I go down here, we talked about the line tool before, and we talked about the custom shape tool. If we have a rectangle or a rounded rectangle, which is a rectangle with a curve, I'm going to increase the curve at the corner from here, let's say to 10, and go like this. Now I can click here and I get something like a 3D or an embossed button. This is useful for web design if you are creating a website. So you would go like this, for example. That would be your button, and you would add, let's make it a bit bigger. And above this, you would be adding a text. Let's say home, for the home button. You'd make this a bit bigger, and there you would have it. So this is why we have these buttons. Okay, so now that we saw the styles, we're gonna see how to create our own next.